Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing today? This is Yusuf Chowdhury. I'm back. It's 9:30 p.m. Central Time right here in San Antonio, Texas. Just give me a second here. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Charles, my man. How are you doing, bro? How you been? How's life? How's business? Late night edition. Yeah, I've been super busy. So today I got a chance. I'm like, okay, let me take a break. Let me relax and share some knowledge with y'all. With you all, right? So what's new? What you got? Yeah, busy as well. Is except for the weekend. I was enjoying. I was out of town. Just came back yesterday. Actually, came back Monday afternoon. So let's see what we can talk about. If anybody has any question, if you have any question about you need help with digital marketing, feel free to ask. As you all know, I always post a lot of educational, great content and resources on my personal Facebook and also in my other social channels and my business page. I hope you all are constantly reading and applying whatever you're learning. Just working with some clients, but looking to scale. Awesome. So one of the posts I shared here, like around August 31st, it was a post by SEMrush. I highly recommend to check out this post. It talks about the ultimate WordPress SEO checklist. Okay, it's a good article. They have a what you call it, like a quick infographic. So when you get a chance, make sure you go through it. Okay, if y'all can see this, there you go. 1 second. So right here, I mean, there is a link, of course. If you click on the link has a lot of details. It goes through a lot of cool stuff, and we can kind of skim through it quickly. Okay, but right here, if you have this is for a self-hosted WordPress-based website. I don't think this is meant for the WordPress.com. Okay, this is for like if you have a domain through a domain registrar and you have a web hosting where you install the WordPress into that hosting service, that becomes what we call it a self-hosted WordPress-based website. Okay. So under the checklist here, they have the basic, they have the advanced, and the optimizing pages and posts. Under the basic, let's see some of these bullet points right here. Choose a reliable hosting provider. So what do they mean here? So all the hosting companies in general, they typically use the same servers or the same machines. Okay. What makes a difference is the customer service. What makes a difference also the quality of these machines and the conditions of these servers, right? So when you look for a hosting provider, I mean, there are different aspects to that. One of them could be best customer service. The other one is that the uptime, so-called 99% uptime server that doesn't go down, which is kind of realistically unrealistic. Sometimes it can go down, but it doesn't happen that quite often. So that's why they have these 99% uptime. Okay, maybe a price is something that part of your consideration. If a price is an issue, you can look into that as well. So my recommendation when it comes to hosting providers, from price to quality and service, I would start with the SiteGround. Okay, they're affordable. They have an excellent customer service as well, and they have different packages, right? And they have a 24 hours chat support system as well. I like the customer service, to be honest. By far, they're one of the best so far right now, and they're very affordable. The next one going to be WP Engine, $35 a month minimum. They only specialize in hosting just WordPress-based websites, like a self-hosted WordPress-based website. Then you have getflywheel.com. You can also look into Liquid Web and DigitalOcean. So these are some of the recommendations that I would suggest that if you're interested, you can try those. Now, when it comes to like the most cheapest service, it's Namecheap. With Namecheap, you can basically get a hosting and domain name all together for like $17 a year. You know what I mean? So that's another one. Just working. Okay. So that's what it means here. Choose a reliable hosting provider. It's very, very important because you're hosting on it. If you get a hosting that's going to cause a lot of issues, then it can also affect your website and your business as well. Second point, install an SEO friendly WordPress theme. Most of the theme out there within the WordPress depository system, the dashboard, the backend, most of them I would say built to fit the backend search engine structure. Especially if you buy the premium theme, most of them are built to be structure wise for SEO friendly. So what does SEO friendly means? It basically means the coding on the backend, the structure, the backend process, the script are following the search engine optimization guideline from Google or Bing. That's what it typically means. Okay, it doesn't mean if you have a so-called SEO friendly theme that means you are going to rank. It doesn't mean that. It just means that the backend is built and developed, so it'll be easier for the Google bots. It'll be easy to basically get indexed and crawled. Okay, that's what it means. So it doesn't mean like, oh, okay, if I get this, I'm going to get ranked on the first page. That's not going to happen, just to let you know. The third one, install a free WordPress SEO plugin. So I do recommend Yoast. Okay, Yoast is one of my favorite. I've been using it for like so many years. There's another one, another awesome plugin in town called Rank Math. So either or, you just use one of them. Both are great. You don't have to use both because the functionality of these plugins, especially if you're not a programmer, a developer, or a coder, you can use this plugin to help you to optimize it by yourself. So adding the SEO plugin like Yoast or Rank Math doesn't mean, again, you're also going to be optimized and you get ranking and traffic. No, it doesn't mean that. In fact, if you install the plugin and if you don't manually make the SEO changes or the on-page optimization changes by yourself, it's not going to have any effect. Okay? The other thing I want to emphasize, and this is for some of the clients out there, on-page optimization does not mean you're going to rank quickly in a month. On-page optimization doesn't mean you're going to rank for keywords that is not hugely searchable in volume. If you have a brand name, right, you're not going to show up quickly in a month, and it takes time for the crawler to come and index. And if you want a specific word, basically when you target audience search for a specific word and you want to basically show up for that word, if it's a brand name, then you have to write a lot of content, or you have to have a lot of content within the pages. If you have text like less than 50 words, that's considered thin content, and the Google bot is not going to be able to grab enough information to index it. So basically, the more information you have, the more valuable, impactful text information you have on the website, that means the crawler can index all this information. Does that make sense? More information, more discoverability of the content for the bot to index them, and that's how eventually and slowly and gradually you'll basically get the traffic for certain words. Keep that in mind, because I do get some of these questions from some of the clients, and some don't understand that even when you go live, that you're not going to show up because it just went live for a month or two. And you also have to look and see, does your audience search for those terminologies? And if they do, what is the volume for those terminology? If it's very less, it's going to take some time. Okay. Set your preferred domain. So that basically means when you install your domain to the hosting, specifically when you configure it with Google Search Console, it will give you the option, do you want to be preferred, like let's say yusufchowdhury.com or whatever the domain is. So that's what they mean. So set your preference. I usually keep it automatic, which means you can sometimes grab it as www and sometimes without it. Okay. Check your site visibility setting. So this is on the back end of your WordPress. There's an option that says if you click on this check mark, it will basically force the search engine not to find you. So you don't want to do that. Okay, enable SEO friendly permalinks. So that basically means when you log into your dashboard within the WordPress, there's an option under the setting called permalink. So what is the objective of the permalink? Typically, it's meant for blogs. So if you have a domain name .com, date, year, month, date, slash the title, or you want the year and slash the title. So that's the permalink. So I recommend that the link should be post name, which is your domain.com slash whatever the title or the pages or the keyword, and not having the dates and the numbers. So that's what it means. Make it SEO friendly. And you don't want to have a bunch of weird numbers, a bunch of weird names, just plain proper English for a human being to read those links. Okay, so that's what it means. Enable the SEO friendly permalinks. Make sense? How would you explain SEO to non-techie clients? Slap them. Okay. Like, no, I'm just kidding. Well, just try your best, basically, to speak within their own language, within their own understanding. So, for example, if I say, "Hey, sign up with our company because we provide SEO services that does X, Y, and Z," they might understand that, right? But if you tell them, let's say, hire us so we can help you get more phone calls, or we can help you to be getting more leads or more signups, so that the language that they understand, right? Then you can explain to them how it's done, because the first thing based on the understanding, okay, more phone calls, more lead, okay, how it's done, then you're gonna go back and explain some of the techniques. And of course you have to dumb down. I'm sorry to say that word dumb down, but that's just the reality. You have to dumb it down, or speak like a baby language, and do your best to explain to them over and over until they get it. See, the most important thing, they have to get it. If they say and they don't understand what you mean, you have to repeat it again until they understand that. So you can show them charts, you can show them visuals, right? Because the lot of thing on the advanced SEO that is so technical that it will go over their heads, like, flying plane. You know what I mean? So that's up to you and how they are going to understand it. I mean, the best client is the educated client. When you have an ignorant client that doesn't understand how the digital marketing works, how website works, how design work, they're gonna make your life hell. Okay, and you don't want that. Me personally, thank God, like the client that I personally work with, I try to be selective and choose those who want to be educated or who are educated in these sort of things, so they can understand exactly what's happened and they'll appreciate it, right? So that's the thing. Do your best to explain to them. Try to simplify it. Don't use too many I mean, you can use the jargons or the technical words later, but after they understand what it means, right? So, for example, when I was talking about if you don't implement, let's say, on-page SEO on your website, as if it's like you open a restaurant, brand new, and there's a line waiting to get in. Well, assume the customer getting there are no tables, no chairs, and no waiters. So that means your website is not optimized. Okay, or you have a car with no engine, so it's not going anywhere. So try to simplify it as much as you can. So once they get the concept out, then you can explain to them, okay, look at these processes. This process means this process means that, and this is what it does. Then again, that's up to you. You know what I mean? So that's enable SEO friendly permalinks. Okay, and let's see what we have here. All right, verify your site with Google Search Console and submit your XML sitemap. So that one, I would do it once you implement the on-page optimization on all the pages. Basically, what I mean by that, it's creating the title tag, the meta tag, the content within the pages, how many words, the headers, the H1, the internal links, outside links, outbound links, the schema tags, making sure that all the pages are properly optimized. You can use tools like SEO Quake, Chrome extension. You can use the WooRank.com to make sure that everything's optimized. Then log into the dashboard, go to Yoast, and from the setting you can get the XML sitemap link. You copy that link, log into the Search Console, and do a submission. So the Google crawler can come and reindex everything. Okay, so that's what is it for. Optimizing pages in post. Carry out keyword research. Very important. Install the SEO Writing Assistant by SEMrush plugin and create great content. This is amazing. So SEMrush has a new plugin. It's called SEO Writing Assistant and it's another challenge that we can probably face. Sometime we have clients write the content for their audience, which is something we highly recommend. But in order for the search engine to come and index this material, we have to write the content, what we call it SEO friendly. That means you have to put the main proper key phrases that the customer are looking for. So the content is going to change a little bit. Even if the client don't understand it, you have to explain to them, look, this is for the search engine. If you want to rank, if you want to get the traffic, if you want to get the conversion, some of these terms must be changed. So you can work with them, right? You can tell them, okay, let's do 50-50. If you don't want to change it completely, let's start to compromise and make sure that the changes we're making going to have a positive effect to your website. Okay, because if you open a store for like selling, I don't know, popsicles, and you don't even mention it anywhere, how do you think the search engine is going to understand what is it about, right? So the cool thing, I haven't tested this. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to have my team look into this. It's called the SEO Writing Assistant plugin. So basically, it looks at the content and it will help you to make it a little bit, SEO optimized. Okay, set the custom URL for pages and posts. That means sometimes you have your domain name.com/about. Instead of putting about, if that page talks about commercial real estate, I'm gonna put about commercial real estate instead of just the word about, because that's the keyword on the link. Okay. Use optimize page headings, which is the header 1 and header 2. Craft unique optimized title tags and meta tag description. These are part of the on-page SEO. Every single page should have their own title tag, not more than 70 characters, and the meta description. And on each page is all the title tag and the meta tag description has to be relevant to that particular page. The meta tag right now, the limitation is, I believe, 320 characters, but I personally still recommend to stick with 160. Okay. Use internal link building. That means you're pointing one link to another, from one blog to another page, and so forth. Use optimized file names for images. So when you upload images, even though there's no SEO value on this, an image, you can, if it's an elephant, jpeg.elephant. But don't forget to add the alternative text right here. Add alt text to images, which means people with visually impaired or blind or disabled. Yes, there's a one ignorant client asked me this question. I was in shock. If you're hearing me, I'm talking about you. And that is that, yes, people with disability in America, we have more than 54 disabled American, and 50% of them, they go online, they check the internet, they browse the website. In fact, if you check your mobile devices with all the social media channels, you will see there's an option for disability called accessibility. Even PlayStation has it. Okay, so have some what do you call it? Have some humanity in you for some of those people that, for some reason, think like people that are disabled don't live life like us. Yeah, they might be a little bit different, right? But they have the same right like anybody else, right? So the alternative text tells the software system what those images are about, and that's why right now, especially for the past 2 years, I've been basically heavily focusing on any website we build has to be ADA compliant. Okay, because people with disability have that right to basically have an amazing experience and enjoy. Okay. Advanced WordPress tips: install a cache plugin to improve the site speed, because site speed is one of the SEO factor. You can try Cloudflare. You can look into, Sucuri's firewall service, or you can use like, for example, SiteGround has their own SiteGround cache plugin. Okay. Optimize images using Smoosh plugin. Basically what it does, it shrinks the size of the images by keeping the same quality. No index tag pages and other low value content. So if you have a page that doesn't have enough content, for example like the contact page that has a form, and if you don't want the search engine to index it because there's not enough content there, then you can select an option called no index or no index follow tag. Okay. Mark up your pages with schema. You got to look into schema.org. Bunch of script that basically helps the crawler to identify specific pages and show those pages properly on the search engine result. Okay. Use last updated dates. So these are some of the tips within the SEMrush if you have a self-hosted WordPress-based website. But if you get a chance, make sure you click on the link right here. They have more details. See? They go through a lot of details, and of course they utilize their tool, but some of the tools are free right here. They talked about the WordPress. They talked about, again, we talked about this, some of the tools right here. Web.dev, you can use that as part of Google. Let's see what else they have here. This is how you set your preferred domain. You always leave it like this on the back end of your dashboard. Check your site visibility. There you go. Never check this, okay? And here's the option. So these are all the dashboard of WordPress. So it's very good. I like that how SEMrush with their user guide put the images. So you can go back and see it. and see exactly what is set up so you can implement step by step, right? Unless if you use SEMrush, they do have a free option that you can use SEMrush Keyword, or you can use Google Keyword Planner. Okay, so it's a very long article, but it's very worth it. It's very valuable. I like it. This is one of my number one tool that I use for SEO. It's the SEMrush, then Ahrefs, SpyFu, and I have all the Majestic SEO. So I have several that we use, but SEMrush is one of my favorite. Okay, so when you get a chance, go through the article, look at it, and see if you can optimize, implement some of the on-page optimization. I'm glad that they have a plugin, a schema markup. You can also utilize that. A lot of technical stuff, but thank you, Erica, for writing this awesome content. Really appreciate it. Okay, so that's it. That is all I wanted to share today. So if you all have any questions about digital marketing, about SEO, please feel free to ask. I'm here to help you. And if you all enjoyed watching this live streaming, do me a favor, go ahead and tag some of your cool colleagues who wants to benefit from this, or just invite them or share this. I would highly appreciate it. Okay, any more questions? Any other subject that you all want me to cover tomorrow? Tomorrow is what? Thursday. I might be back. I'll do my best. So anywhere between 7, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Okay, that I can come online and help you guys with any question you might have within digital marketing, whether it's WordPress, search engine, online ads, social media, outsourcing, how to run a business, how to run a digital marketing business, how to look for clients, how to qualify them, that kind of stuff. Feel free to ask. I want to give this stuff out. I'll give you the resources and the tools, and if you have a challenge, if you have an issue, you're working on something. Malik, wa alaikum salam, akhi, kif halak? How are you, man? Good to see you, bro. What is Isa, man? So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you're stuck somewhere, you want to start something, you don't know what's happening, take this opportunity of asking this question, because I want to do my best to provide you the resources and the answers. And if I don't have it, I'll let you know I don't have it. Okay? For the new business owners watching, what steps should they take to find a good SEO agency? I would say, first thing first, just understand the basic of what search engine optimization is. Okay, and just read it a little bit. There are many resources I can recommend, like SEMrush has an academy that shows you the beginner's guide. Moz.com also has a lot of good information, like ethical practices of SEO. SearchEngineLand.com, Search Engine Journal, those are also good sites to look for beginner resources, right? That's the first thing. Educate yourself on what SEO is, because you have on-page SEO and you have an off-page SEO, right? The search engine optimization technique takes a long process. So when you ask the agency, you have to ask them, what are the processes, what are the strategies? Do they implement the on-page first, then they go with the off-page? And if they do the off-page, how many months? Of course, that should last forever. And what kind of task they implement? Because typically with our company, when we do search engine, we spend anywhere between 27 to 55 hours per month. Okay, that includes content writing, content distribution, toxic link analysis, Google disavow link submissions. There's a lot of work involved, right? Wa alaikum salam, Hussein. Maybe we can talk about my website tomorrow. No problem. 3Z Transport. I can check right now if you want. Hey, Caroline, what's going on? Hey, Yusuf, what is a good plugin for surveys? I tried Google Forms and it didn't work. Survey plugin, let's check. There are tons of survey plugin. But before these two questions, Caroline, let me go back to Charles' question. So that's the first thing, educate. Secondly, understand how it works. Then you have to ask the right question, because I've seen so many agencies, unfortunately, they say that they do SEO, but all they do is on page, and they charge monthly, which is crazy. They don't do the monthly task, right? A good agency will show you all the tasks that they're going to implement on a monthly basis. Also, they're going to tell you that there's no fast result. There is no such thing as we'll do SEO and 3 months you're going to rank. Those, you got to run when you hear those sort of things, because there's no guarantee how long it's going to take based on the niche, based on the business, based on the location, based on where you at. If you're let's say if you want to start a barber shop and you're in San Antonio, yes, that can probably take 6 months, 9 months to be on the first page, no problem. But if you want to dominate e-commerce nationwide, that's going to be super expensive. It's going to take longer, right? So there's an article by Ahrefs that talks about how long it takes to rank. You can study that article that talks about it takes an average almost a year or so. It depends on the niche as well, right? So first thing, Charles, educate on that. Then ask the right questions. Very, very important to ask the right question. Like, what is on page SEO? What is off page? What are the processes? What is ethical SEO technique? What does Google say? What's the latest and the greatest? What matters most, ranking or conversion? A good agency will tell you that ranking on the first page, you're not going to hear that from them. What you're going to hear from them, like myself and them, is that about how to attract the targeted audience to your website so they can convert into a buying customers for your service or product. That should be their focus. Ranking comes automatically, but should not be just the ranking alone, because you can rank for a crappy words that nobody look for. You know what I mean? So let me know, Charles, if I answered your question. And Brother Hussein, that website, let's see. I can look at it right now if you want, just how to market it and get more fright leads. First, let me look into Carolina's question about survey plugin. Are you looking for a plugin for your WordPress? I mean, you can go to ThemeForest. Let's check it out, because ThemeForest, I mean, on the back end of the WordPress dashboard, you will find the free one. But ThemeForest also have a premium plugins, and before you buy it, you can contact the developer first. So you don't buy it right away. You have to do your homework, right? So under the first, you're going to go to code, themeforest.net. You go to code and you make sure this, the WordPress is selected. Okay. Then from here, I'll do a search for, let's see, come on, still thinking. I'll do a search for survey, right? Survey plugin. There you go. So here, it will show you a bunch of, let's see if there's a bunch of, see, model survey. So it talks about the price, how many stars. It's a WordPress compatible with the BP Press, multi-languages. So reputation management survey, WordPress. So there are tons right here, right? So what I would do, for example, right here, I would click on this one. So before I decide to buy, you can contact the developer, the elite author can contact them. You can look at how many, look at the 1,000 comments, 4,000 sale, 5 stars. Okay. And last update just today, look at that. 9 September 20, right? Gutenberg optimized, you have to worry about that. Has version, yes, compatible with all the browsers. Okay, compatible with the latest WordPress. And sample of how it looks. See? So survey, get feedback. So you can contact them first. Look at the comment, read the comment, contact them. Even if you do the live demo, you can see how it works or how it looks. Explore the new survey. See? How did you, okay, so what is the sample? I think it can be a sample. Quick tour, try out, quick tour. Okay, see the sound, you can create these samples, different kind of sample surveys. So, but contact them first, and maybe if they have a free options, you can test it. And if you like it, you run with it. Make sense? But you have to do your homework, because it depends on, first of all, why do you need the survey for, and how the survey going to function and whatnot. Because most surveys pretty simple. I mean, even SurveyMonkey, Planet Survey, I think they also have a plugin for WordPress. If you're used to those, you can use those as well. You know, even for the Google survey, they have their own plugin too. But if you don't like it, then definitely can use some of these third-party premium WordPress. Because when you buy a premium plugin, you will get better support. You can contact them. You can message them and whatnot. Okay. Let's see. Brother Hussein, three. What is that? Three Z transport. Okay, Caroline. I'm sorry, Carolina. Sorry. Thank you. What good is ranking on the? Thank you. What good is ranking on the first for Google if your website's overall message is not connecting with your target audience? It's just a waste of time. Absolutely. 3Z Transport and Services LLC, independent Lancer agency. Lancer agency. Contact us for best shipping code. There's a Gmail, trucking service, specialty services, complex logistic. Stay up to date. Okay, few things. First thing first. This is what I was telling Charles about. Opening a restaurant. Everyone's by the door, time to get in. Once they get in, there's no table, there's no waiters, nobody going to stay. So when I come to your website, what are you trying to convey? First, I have to work on the side. What are you trying to convey to your target audience? Who's your target audience, first of all? Right? I don't see trucks. I don't see images that reflect the business. Right? I see a page with thin content. If I click About Us, okay, not too many. There you go. That's pretty cool. That's what I want to see on the home page, not just About Us. Okay. So you have a couple of options. If you have I'm assuming you have an office for your business. So the first thing you have to do, you have to dominate what we call the local listing, right? You have to dominate the local listing, like the Google My Business page and Yelp page and all that, because those local listing will basically help your target audience to find you through those listings. Because your objective is what? Because if I ask you right now, Brother Hussein, what do you want right now? Do you want more phone calls? Do you want them to contact you through the contact form? What do you exactly want, right? How many leads do you want per month? Let's start from there, right? How many phone calls do you want per month? What are you using or utilizing for marketing at the moment, for example? How much budget do you have that you want to invest in marketing so you can get those leads, right? So if I use, let's say, for example, a quick tool right here, SEO Quake, to run a quick on-page SEO analysis. So let me show you right here. So on the homepage, independent Lancer agency, that's about it. You got the title tag, right? It doesn't say what else. In the meta tag, independent freight agency, Minneapolis best freight prices and superb customer service. You can work on this, and the way you write the meta tag as if you're speaking to your audience. There's no call to action here. You can say something like click the link for more information. Let's see what else. Keyword density looks fine, but let's look at the diagnosis right here. Okay, you got this taken care of. One image without alternative text. There's a problem right here. Text and HTML ratio 2.83%. Typically, I recommend 25%. Ouch! Your website ratio of text to HTML code is below 15%. We suggest adding a lot more text to your website. Why? Because when the Google bot, the spider, comes into your website, there's not enough information for Google to index on the server. So that's why you need more information, more valuable information on the homepage. It's not there. So 2% is very bad. This schema tag are missing. All these technical SEO stuff are missing. And Google Analytics, why not? You have to configure Google Analytics because Google Analytics will tell you where the traffic is coming from, mobile device or desktop, which city. And based on those information, you can go back and make the changes on the website. It's very, very important for any business to understand that data science or the analytics is very, very, very important. Because dealing with clients that don't understand that you cannot make changes just because you feel, you got to make changes based on the numbers, based on the data, right? You got to make changes based on the data because the data is a reflection of your target audience and the behavior that takes place on the website. For those that are hearing me here, remember that, okay? Utilize the data. So that means your on page is not properly set up on the home page. I'm sure on the about page and the contact us is not done right. So website has to be properly optimized. Why? Because when the traffic comes in and index it, eventually can help you out. So that's the first task. I'm sorry, the first task is the local listing. The second task is the on-page optimization. So what I meant by local listing, if you go to moz.com/local, right? Let's see, contact us. Let's see. Contact us. Here we go. Minnesota. Here we go. Let me see if you are listed locally on Google My Business page and Yelp and Super Pages, because those listings really help even if you don't have a site. So this is your business name. And PO box, that's not gonna work. You need to have an actual virtual office or business office. If you have a PO box, it is not going to work, my friend, because the local listing require an actual physical address. So what happened if you cannot rent a physical address? You can Google virtual offices in Minnesota. There's so many companies that will let you use their business address for your business. If you want to grab a business in a specific area that you get most of your clients from, that's the one idea. You can do that. Or you can go to UPS store and get a business mailbox. Instead of calling PO box, you're just going to call a suite number, right? So the first thing I recommend for your type of business is to have a local listing so you can get the traction of a specific area. And the second task that you need to implement is to implement on-page SEO. And the third option will be to invest in online ads, whether it's Google or Bing or social media. Invest in the ads so you can get the customer that you want. Especially for this business, if you don't know how it works, you have to either hire an agency or hire us, and we have a team that basically analyze your type of niche and business within the ad, and then it finds out what kind of keyword and key terms is popular, let's say within Minnesota, and we can give you some estimate, right? And number 4, of course, social and SEO. But the thing with the search engine, it's a long process. It takes forever, and there's a lot of work involved. Okay, so those are some of the ideas on how to help you to get more customers for your business. All right, any more questions? Any more questions, please? It is 10:07 p.m. Central Time. Any more questions? Any more questions? By the way, there's a documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. If you get a chance, watch it. It's very interesting. Even though Netflix itself is a sick platform. They have some good stuff, but they also have some crappy stuff. But this documentary was interesting, so check it out. Thanks. We'll definitely get in touch. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so one step at a time. Like I said, start with the local listing. Then we'll talk about on-page SEO, then some other stuff. There are things that you can do by yourself. Step-by-step guide. There's so many resources out there that even if you don't know, you can learn it quickly and kind of implement some of the basic tasks, and it should be good. Okay. Alright, is Facebook outdated for advertisement? Malik, not really. I mean, Facebook is still improving, doing a lot of stuff. I mean, when you have more than, I don't know how many, 6 billion something, how many, what's the population on Facebook? How many millions and billions? I mean, the ad platforms still work. Even though recently they're making some changes for the real estate and the credit companies, they have something called special category where they're disabling some of the features, but it still works because here's the thing, when it comes to business, especially the people who start the business as a beginner, they work backward. So what they do, like last week, somebody wants to start something online, right? I'm like, so what do you want to do? I want to do eBay and Amazon. Okay, so what's the product? I don't know. You see, they do everything backward because they're thinking about the money. Oh, I heard that you can make money from online. You can make money from anything, right? I know a kid read an article a couple years ago was selling like a stone, right? You can make money from anywhere. The question is, are you going to make money ethically or unethically, right? The cartel makes money too. Drug dealers make money, but that doesn't make it right, correct? But the thing is, people work backward. I noticed this with a lot of so-called beginners. First thing first, instead of starting something, you have to understand, okay, who I'm selling it to, who is my target audience. I have to do research on that first, okay? Then you're going to think about the product. They're going to think about, okay, how I'm going to market it, whether online, organically, or through ad, make sense? Or guerrilla marketing, or word of mouth. And of course, you have to understand when starting a business, it takes time. You have to make a lot of mistakes. It's a struggle, but eventually you're gonna come to that tipping point where it will become so awesome for you. Because you're not tied in to clock in, clock out. You're not tied in to too many crappy stuff that happens at work with backbiting and bossiness and whatnot, right? You can hire a client, you can fire a client. You're your own master, basically, right? But it takes time and effort. It takes a lot of mistakes. So it's very important that you surround yourself with people that's going to uplift you, people that are going to be in the same direction of helping businesses, right? Greg Al Guzman, ¿qué pasa, hermano? From Mexico. What's going on, bro? How's Mexico, man? You enjoying your awesome time in Mexico? That's good, man. Keep traveling, man. Okay? And don't be scared like some people. I'm going to get canceled now because we got too many people getting triggered these days. So to answer your question about the Malik, it's not outdated. It's still valuable. I have clients that from like 2016 still running ads, on Facebook, and they're getting leads and whatnot. Okay. So let's see. I got a question. Where is my logo? Yeah. Your logo is there. Okay, it's coming up. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, I would say it is not outdated. Still good. So and Facebook, of course, when it comes to social, Facebook is really got the best option because they got the whole audience right there. The majority of the audience live on Facebook. Then you have LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, and now you have TikTok and so-called Snapchat and Reddit and whatnot, right? These are within the social media platform. When it comes to search, Google and Bing, of course. Okay. All right. Any more question for the night? Any more questions? If you all think coming around the night edition is good for all of you, I might just continue coming on the night edition. I love it here. Not wearing a mask has been so great. I met a guy that kind of does what you do, social media marketing. Said he made a lot of money doing it in Switzerland. Yeah, it's the thing is, if you work hard, if you work smart, and if you're consistent, like I said, you can make money from anything, and it doesn't have to be that's just this. Love the late night edition of the live stream. I'm still working. Nice marketing consultant. That is, yeah. The beautiful thing about digital marketing, and I'm so grateful for that you can work from anywhere. You're not tied into one specific location, or even though I have several location to work from. I have several co-working spots and offices here, but you can work from Mexico too, as long as you have clients from like U.S., U.K., Canada, Western society, or Middle Eastern, or some other countries. Then yeah, you can work from. That's the beauty behind it, So, and when people ask me to teach them something, I mean, I basically share just what I did. If you want to get into like blogging, marketing and digital and ad designer, web developer, programmers, especially coders. I mean, you can make money from anywhere. You just need to make sure that you understand how business work. You have to be very patient. You have to have the right team to help you. You have to have the right mindset, because the mindset for a person to run a business is not the same thing. A mindset like a person that works as a regular employee, right? Not trying to put them down, anything like that. We need people like that too, right? Because I have my own team and staff that work for me too, right? But yeah. So night edition is better. Okay, so Greg said night edition, Trust said night edition. Okay. All right, because I used to do at 6. I tried a couple of times during the day testing the water, but I think the night edition might be a good option. So for the past week, I haven't been that consistent though. I had to get on your level for real, making a website and doing some consulting in this day and age has never been easier to do online. I've met dudes that are literally working in Cancun and at the beach having go. Yeah, of course, I've known my business associates and partners and friends that some of them work from Bali, some of them work from Thailand, some of them work from Middle East. They're from different places. But the thing is, almost all of them, took them years to get to that level, right, of having good clients and consistency and whatnot. So it did not happen in one night. This is something that I try to explain to a lot of so-called startup and so-called businesses that, or somebody wants to get into business, that it's a slow process, right? Like me personally, I started this in 2006, right, as a hobby. Then in 2008, I was kind of getting serious about it. Then in 2013, I became full-time in business. See, it took me a long time. I have a couple of colleagues that probably within 3 years became successful. Some of them 5, some of them 10. It all varies. But the most important thing really is that consistency and being patient, and also surrounding yourself with like-minded folks. Because if you're surrounded by negative people that always complain, that doesn't see the potential in what you're trying to achieve, you gotta avoid them completely. Okay, and even if you have to get a mentor, get a coach. I mean, I used to have a business coach. I used to have a mentor. I mean, in fact, I still have several mentors even right now that I ask them questions on different projects. Till this day, okay, like having a sensei or a sheikh, even though we don't have that concept in our faith, right? We don't have that concept of clergy because each one of us are supposed to be a leader of their own. But you get the point, right? Have an expert, have a mentor to walk you through, to help you and to guide you. And that's what I love to do. Because I learn from others, now I want to kind of pass on the knowledge and do the same thing and teach others as well. You know what I mean? So, okay. All right. So any more questions for the night? And don't forget, if you have friends and business colleagues that want to learn this, please tag them, invite them, or share this. I would highly appreciate it. Because like you, Greg, I mean, you are a traveler, right? So, and of course, you started your blog. You're building it slowly. A very specific blog about traveling on a budget, so you can attract a specific audience. You can use affiliate marketing. You can use training. You can sell ebooks. I mean, there's so many potential, man. There's so many potential, but you gotta be, like I said, you gotta be consistent. You gotta be patient. Mistakes going to happen. So let's say all the mistake that I made. Let's say I made 100 mistakes. At least if you learn and ask the right question, then hopefully you're not going to make all the 100 mistakes. You're going to end up probably making 20 mistakes, because mistake going to happen regardless. Okay, there's no way to avoid it. In fact, I'd rather make a mistake quickly so I can fix it quickly. Okay, all right, folks. It is 10:17 p.m. Central Time right here in San Antonio, Texas. Let me know if y'all have any more questions. I'll wait for a minute. Then after that, I will bounce. Any more questions? And here's another thing. When people ask questions, or when you have like a mentor or a coach or somebody that is going to teach you in a specific niche, let's say in web design or any kind of business, make sure that you humble yourself and listen. Okay? Because I see this, but people just want to argue. Just freaking listen. Okay? Humble yourself and listen and learn. And stop like doing everything the opposite. Like your mentor tells you one thing and you do something opposite. Don't do that. That's like people that ask too many questions and they don't take any action. In my book, they're nothing but assholes. Okay? Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Looks like there's no more question. I highly appreciate it. Definitely I'll see you all tomorrow. So if you still have any more question, or if you want to cover any subjects, وياك يا أخي حسين, send me a DM or leave your comment on the comment section, and I'll come back tomorrow and cover that subject for y'all. Okay? All right, have an awesome night and don't work too hard. See you later.